does not work like that in Africa. It is worse. You cannot take someone's daughter for free like that. You have to impress her and the family, most importantly.
I don't think it's worse.
And in some cultures, like my own, if you have not proven yourself as a man that you have the resources to take care
Speak, girl.
of someone's daughter, guess what? Even the family has the right to take you to court, to police. And
yes, that is fact. Facts. That is fact. That means that African Americans have actually qualified to stand in this position. I don't know why we are threatening them. They are able to come and prove themselves right for us as African women. The average payment of dowry in Kenya is 500,000 Kenya shillings. That's close to like 4,000 USD. There's a country like Niger. From this Google search, it shows $83 is the average, is the maximum rate of bride price. So don't be threatened. South Africa, they're talking about maximum of like 2 million. So 2 million Kenya shillings. That is like 10,000. Not 2 million. 10,000 USD. 10,000 USD. So can we be a little bit controversial? Have you heard about the passport bro situation? Is there passport sister conversations? I don't know. But I find that to be a very interesting discussion that another time we can talk about it, but that's not what you're talking about today. We're talking about Tyler. So Tyler was in South Africa, was in America, and then people were fascinated on how beautiful Africans can be. You know, like if a South African, they're that cute, then they should come to Kenya and I just love my country. They should come to Africa and they'll be able to get beautiful women. Let me tell you, my first thought would have been, yes, come. Black Americans, please come. You will find this beauty over here. And if you don't know by now, I am married by a Black American, so of course I will encourage his brothers. And even because my sisters are like, where are the men? Does he have a brother? Does he have a cousin? Can you just connect us, you know? So I would be on the loop of, hey, bring them, until I saw this video and I thought we should actually react to it, agree on some things and disagree on some things, and I can, as an African, I can clear out some things, as also even as an African married to a Black American, we can discuss about some of your expectations as you look into getting an African wife. So let's do this. So let's hear what my sister had to say. This one is a fun one, so I'll be keen to hear what you guys have to say. And is this something you would consider to marry in Africa? I know, we are good like that. You're welcome.
Oh, I saw a video today on TikTok of this young man, African American, saying how he wants to go to Africa to find a wife. And he said all this after watching Tyler.
See, this is where I would have said, you want to come to Africa to get an African wife? Please come. Book the next flight. You're going to find a beautiful wife and then you're going to, you're just going to enjoy. Yeah, and my Jamaican accent is coming in, but I love it.
A beautiful sister from South Africa. And he's like, you know what? That's it. We just need to go to Africa to find wives. Audacity. Anyway,
first of all, I don't find a problem with them wanting to come. You can go anywhere in the world and find a wife. Wherever you find love, find it, and if it works for you, well and good. What can we say? I really don't necessarily feel the audacity, but let's give her a chance.
Being African, I was raised in Africa and I was also raised in the United States, so I have experience from both continents. Okay?
Yes.
And let me tell you something. If you are an American man who thinks that going outside of the United States is where you will find a good woman, a good wife, because American women ask for too much. The ladies out here, man, they're just materialistic. Let me tell you something.
Okay. First of all, well, there's a whole discussion about why. And I think that's why the passport bro situation is a very famous conversation that people are having. But that brings in the controversy of why are they leaving to come find wives. And because, I don't want to say American women are, because I don't know. I've never been a man to be like they're materialistic or anything like this. But also, there's fun in exploring and seeing what other people have to say. And it doesn't mean that anyone that's traveling outside of America, then it's because of these factors. And if anything, I feel like majority of them have already had something with a like they have a history with African American women or trying to have a relationship with American women, things like this. But let me calm down and listen.
Something. It is worse. It is 1,000 times worse than what you think back home in Africa. At least for the country that I was raised in and the culture that I was raised in. Because here's the thing. African women, African young girls, we are raised to literally know that the man is the provider. In fact, a lot of African women don't even go to work. Their men are the ones who go to work and just bring the money home for the wife to budget. And if you think the women here in America are asking for too much, in fact, go to Africa. No, go get married. Because the way African young girls are raised, we are raised with so much knowledge about family, friendship, how to deal with lives. So when families in Africa see that their daughters...
Woo! She's speaking! So, there's something you just said, yeah? That I'm like, what? Okay, so you mean African women are taught on how to be wives? You mean African women are taught on how, to be taking care of the husband? Unfortunately, I'm keen to know, are African American women taught the same? Like you're saying with confidence on how we are given these values, we are given these lessons, African Americans taught the same. So if you want us to go on a back and forth, which is very unnecessary, it's very unnecessary on us comparing between African American women and African women, who do you spend more to whom, which I feel like this should not even be a discussion, because if a man really loves a woman, providing should be the easiest thing that comes out of them. Like, this should be their sign of, I really love my woman, whether she loves her Gucci bags, whether she loves her whatever. Like me, I love my trips, so it depends. I feel like we should not evaluate on who you're going to marry because of how much you're going to provide. That should not be the first, because of money balances. As you're saying, there's value already on the African women, which would actually be a point to encourage more men to come and marry our African sisters. But also to challenge if I don't know if African American women are taught on these values that you're talking about, but if they are, then they deserve to get the Gucci bags. Materialistic. I feel like the discussion should be from a place of values, more than values and preference.
Friendship, how to deal with lives. So when families in Africa see that their daughters have gone through so much learning and they have become knowledgeable of life and marriage and all those things, they know the value of their daughters, and they say, you know what? Any man cannot come and marry our daughter for free. He has to pay a dowry. And that's why majority of African cultures, before a man goes to take the daughter to marry a woman, he has to pay the family a dowry, an appreciation. And dowry can go from money to cows and goats to even building the girl's family a house. Yes, and it's all to show appreciation to the family of the girl, that thank you so much.
See, yeah, my theory remains. Whether African American woman, whether an African woman, if a man loves you, spending on you and on that which brings joy to you, which could be in this case be your family, should not be a question. The problem would be if you're asking for 200% and he can only offer 100%. So then that has a problem with you as a lady more than it has a problem to do with him as a man. So this is my perspective. Maybe this is from me African taught values or stuff like this. Talking about dowry, I feel like that is actually not a threat for I'd say for an African American man, because I'm believing that the person that you found is, first of all, hardworking. Yes, we don't do 50-50. We don't do 50-50, but we do support. We do 100%, which is what can you bring to the table. Then we are good on, okay, so how can we make this team of ours be on a prosperity sort of, and on a rise, or like, let's go, like, something like this, take off, yeah.
Appreciation to the family of the girl, that thank you so much for raising such a beautiful and wonderful woman who's gonna be the mother of my kids. So the system works differently. The United States, after living here for almost 10 years, I've realized that here men just take for free. And I know this might be triggering and or insulting some people, but it's the truth. Men in the United States are used to taking things for free, especially from women. They expect, well, I'm just gonna go date her, have sex with her here and there, and use her, and then we'll just be in a relationship. It does not work like that in Africa. It is.
Let's say, well, can we just be honest for a minute? It's so unfortunate. I'm triggered because it's so sad on how much privilege Americans or people in, let's even say, including Europeans, have when they come to like Africa. When you come to Africa, your $1 is a lot of more money. It can go further compared to in America. So basically, let me give an example. If you give me $100, it's way much more money for me compared to someone given $100 in US, just because the cost of living and stuff like this. And all this is translated even into like minimum wage and how much people make, how much people use in terms of even living, their day-to-day expenses and stuff like this. So when she's talking about here in Africa, we ain't free, we ain't all these things, but the reality is sometimes us as African women, we've really been falling into the trap of also giving ourselves free to these people on, I want to go party with this foreigner because they've come, they have the money, they have the dollars and stuff like this, and you're just there for free, and unfortunately they leave and they fly away. And that is what is even leading to this whole concept of passport bro, which most of the cases of passport bro is more on what's it called, travel sexism. Is it sexism? No. Basically what I'm saying is we have really, I don't want to expose my people so much, but I just want to be truthful on this street. If you come to like the coast of Kenya, you'll be so surprised on how many ladies are giving themselves out there for free. And I wish they had more value for themselves and valued themselves more. But then let's go back to the marriage situation. Yes, it's true, I did not get married for free, if that's even something. The Thanksgiving did for sure happen, but as I'm telling you, because of the value of the money in the US compared to the value of money here in Africa, it goes a very, very long way. Can we be honest? First of all, I don't like this whole concept of saying some women are free, some are not free, you bought this one, you didn't buy the other one, because it's not a buying system. It is more of, it is honor, it is respect. We look at it as a way of, as we've said, there's no 50-50 necessary. There's no 50-50 with an African woman, because we believe that their business is to provide. But it doesn't mean, as I've said, we do 100. Are you bringing provision? Because for sure, can we be honest? I don't want just a man that provides financially, and we have really normalized the idea of just talking about financial provision. Have we even come to a place of talking about emotional provision? Is this man, he could be providing 100%, but is he there emotionally? Is he there for all your needs? Is he there for your spiritual growth or things like this? So there's still so much more before we threaten you African Americans and be like, don't come to Africa. The thing is, the whole idea of being free, whether you are bought or whether you are free or whatever, it is all for an honor and respect. And if your parents in America do feel respected by however these people have decided to marry, then well and good for your system and for your culture. You know, for us, it has to have a degree of you've gone and given things. Don't even make it see. Let's even now drop about this whole thing. Let's say we are being bought. Kwani iko nini? Let's assume we are being bought. It's a very easy system. Don't be threatened about it. Parents are very considerate of their daughters and of their children. They want the best for their child. So that is always the first thing in the parents' thought. Such that they create some good system. For example, they will tell you, this is the list of things that you're supposed to bring in exchange of our daughter. But then they can give you even a privilege of like, but you have forever to pay it. So it's not like someone is putting a gun on your head or stuff like this. But that's not the case. For example, I would talk about, for example, my case as an African that is married to an African American. My parents were gracious enough to be like, just bring whatever you feel like is Thanksgiving and you appreciate, and as a sign that you can take care of my daughter. Yes. So don't be threatened by paying dowry. It's a very respectable system. It just shows that you're man enough, that you also have values enough, that you can work out there, that you have everything it takes. You can put your money into where your mouth is at. But as I said, if your man, whatever gender or whatever race, whatever thing, if if their money, if they don't find joy in spending money on you, then that guy is not just right from the first place. Regardless, there's even this whole discussion even continues even like with African men, where you'll be like, hey, they don't provide, or you're the one providing, stuff like this. But also, if your woman is on the opposite, because you have to address both cases, and she's asking for 200, but you're only okay with 100, then she needs to go and work so that she can also ask for that which she has, if there's something like that.
It does not work like that in Africa. It is worse. You cannot take someone's daughter for free like that. You have to impress her and the family, most importantly.
I don't think it's worse.
And in some cultures, like my own, if you have not proven yourself as a man that you have the resources to take care
Speak, girl.
of someone's daughter, guess what? Even the family has the right to take you to court, to police. And
yes, that is fact. Facts. That is fact. That means that African Americans have actually qualified to stand in this position. I don't know why we are threatening them. They are able to come and prove themselves right for us as African women. Right? Yeah. So, it's not as, I don't know. Maybe I've interacted with several, but according to me, they're able to stand up and do whatever they need to do to get to whatever they want. You know, like if that's where value is at, then you can rise up and go get the value. And I'm thinking it should be the same whether you're marrying an African, whether you're marrying an African American. You should be able to rise up to whatever you want.
Daughter, guess what? Even the family has the right to take you to court, to police, and say, we brought this man, he wants to take our daughter for free. Or if you've already taken the daughter without paying the family a dowry, they can say, he stole our daughter from us without any appreciation. And guess who is gonna win the case? The family of the girl. So to any American man or any man worldwide who wants to marry a woman in Africa, use your common sense. You have to be very, very strong in your masculinity to know that I do not expect my wife to work if she doesn't want to. She can or she cannot. My position as the man in her life will not change whether she works or not. My position is to provide for her. So my brother, you want to go to Africa to find a wife because they're much more nicer, let me tell you, they come with the most costly, how do I say this? And this is not like a selling your daughter type of thing. No, the families are not exchanging their children for money and possessions. No, it's simply the man giving to the girl's family in appreciation of receiving a wife. He who finds a wife finds a what?
A good thing.
A good thing.
Okay. I feel like the whole video was made for you African American men. I mean, I don't know why I'm taking up high energy. It's for African American men to be educated that you need to pay dowry for your African wife. And let's not even go to like Tyler is not even like they don't follow because she's like mixed, so they don't necessarily follow the African way of paying bride. Let's just focus on her focus, which was on paying dowry to marry your wife. So the thing is, I don't feel like it should be a threat. I feel like it's a very doable thing. Let's even give it an example, yeah? So African women will get married to African men, which is majority of African women will get married to African men, even country-wise, yeah? If those are able to afford, and the minimum wage for like, for example, Kenya is like not anywhere compared to the minimum wage of like America. So I feel like this should actually not be a threat if you understand the concept is just understanding the concept of dowry and then being like, do I want her for this? Yes, of course. Does it go beyond that? I don't know. Maybe there are are there many African American men that are refusing to pay dowry? Not that I know about, because anyway, you won't be allowed to marry the African girl. Also, I think about it so many ways. But I'm thinking, this is not money that should threaten you. This is not money that should make you freak out. Yeah, so I do want more African American brothers coming into Africa to marrying African women. So yes, please, I'm just here to say it's not that serious. It's not as scary we still do work in the long run. Like right now, I know majority of African women that work more than those that do not work. And that shouldn't be a threat, because when you're coming to build a family, we've been taught on what is building a family. It entails us moving forward in a better way. And if that means me going back to work, I'm happy to do so. Yeah, so no threats. The dowry price is not that much. It's not that much. I can even count the number of people that have paid anywhere above how much? Averagely, how much would you say people pay as dowry price?
Averagely, I think $1 million at this, or 1.5
Is
Kenyan
average.
shillings. Yeah.
Do you know there are some people that pay 20,000? What are you talking about? 1 million.
Where do I live?
Okay, so let's do a quick Google search and see what they say is the average of. Let's see if we find a figure. Average dowry price in Africa.
The average dowry price in Kenya right now is 500k.
Oh yeah. The average payment of dowry in Kenya is 500,000 Kenya shillings. That's close to like 4,000 USD. There's a country like Niger. From this Google search, it shows $83 is the average, is the maximum rate of bride price. So don't be threatened. South Africa, they're talking about maximum of like 2 million. So 2 million Kenya shillings. That is like 10,000. Not 2 million. 10,000 USD. 10,000 USD. So I feel like this should not be a threat. Yeah. And also, if you're coming from, most African families are very understanding. So they'll be like, what can you afford now? Then you continue paying as you continue on with your marriage life, as you continue on building your life. So this should for sure not be a threat. But we should question people's intents, not even on dowry price. The intent of them marrying should be beyond their dowry price, including the women as well. So yeah, I thought I should talk about this just because I'm an African, married to my African American husband, and I want him to have more brothers in the flight as they're coming to Africa to see their wives. Anyway, bye for now.